Hello, I'm Jake Silver at the Ashland High School basketball game against Oxford. I'm here with Mr. Quigley, our athletic director at Ashland High School. Mr. Quigley, how do you think the Ashland winter sports have been doing this year?
Been very impressed, very happy for our student athletes this winter. Lots of team and individual successes. Obviously tonight here we're with the boys basketball team. First round of the Division III Central Tournament. We also had our co-op girls hockey team qualify for state tournament. We had a fantastic performance from our co-op gymnastics team. They're going to be in the state meet this coming Saturday. And we also had some great performances, individual performances by our boys and girls swim teams and our indoor track team. So overall, a very successful and fulfilling winter season for Ashland High School.
Thank you. How do you think the snow that we've been having been affecting our schedules here?
We've been very fortunate. The only sport that has been really affected by Snowmageddon, as they've been calling it the past month or so, has been our hockey teams. Just last week, over February vacation, our boys hockey team had to play 5 games in 5 days. So that's a lot. That's a lot to ask of any high school team, let alone a hockey program. Just because of the physical nature of the sport. But we've been pretty fortunate. We've had a few makeups along the way. Hockey has been hit the hardest. Practice is canceled here and there. But other than that, it's been a regularly scheduled winter season.
Thank you. And the last question for the Ashland basketball, who do you think stands out the most on our team?
I mean, you know, we have a very dynamic group of guys playing on our team this year in the program. Specifically, you know, we have 2 league all-stars this year that were recognized by the Tri-Valley League, by the coaches. Junior Max Feinberg was a first-team all-star, and senior John Van Cleef was a second-team all-star. But, you know, I think if this team had to be summed up or described in one word, the type of players that we have that have really led us to this point, we have tremendous role players. We have guys who really buy into what their role is on the team. They commit to it. They work hard in practice. They really sell out and give maximum effort each and every game. And the proof is in the pudding. Here we are tonight, tournament basketball. There's nothing better than high school tournament basketball come February.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. Hello, it's Jake Silver again at the Ashland basketball game. I'm here with Finity Hyder, our exchange student here. Finity, how do you think Ashland will do tonight against a pretty good team?
I think they are going to be very, very well, and they are going to play very great, like always in every game that I saw.
Yeah. Do you think there are any from a student's perspective, do you think there are any outstanding players on Ashland's basketball team?
So I think there are a lot of good players in this team, but I think Max Feinberg and the twins and John Van Cleef, they're the outstanding guys. They're the players that are going to be important for this game probably. So I think if they're going to be well in this game, and I think we're going to be, and this team is going to be really great.
Hello again, everybody, from Ashland High School. It's Ashland High School Varsity Sports on WACA-TV, Ashland Television tonight. The Ashland Public Schools, the Tri-Valley League, and the MIAA present boys varsity tournament basketball with the Ashland High School Clockers hosting the Oxford High School Pirates. Bob Thacker, Bob Martell with you tonight. Tonight's game being played on February 24th, 2015. Nice crowd on hand, Bobby.
Great crowd. A balmy 23 degrees, Bob, as we have a warm-up going on with 99 inches of snow outside. But warm inside the gym tonight. We're here at the Morazy Athletic and Convocation Center, sitting opposite the Trademark Equipment scoreboard, donated by Mark Pegararo, a great supporter of Ashland youth and high school sports. Coming to this game, Bob, and it's a one-and-done time, tournament time. Last year, Ashland made the tournament and played one game and were out against a team that they had beaten in the regular season. This year they play an Oxford team that they haven't played. Oxford, as you said before the game started, finished second in their league. They're the 10 seed, I believe. Ashland's the 7 seed. The winner of this game gets the 1 seed Uxbridge. And Ashland comes into this one healthy and prepped. They got one scratch tonight. Who are you telling me, Bobby, is not playing tonight? Matt Gazzard?
Matt Gazzard not available tonight.
But other than that, everybody else
he's got that kissing disease, Bob.
Oh. Well, we never had that.
I had it all 4 years when I was in high school.
And all different girls each time. Yeah. Interesting Oxford team. They got 4 freshmen, no sophomores, 6 juniors, 3 seniors, and 4 captains. Ashland all juniors and seniors. They've got 6 juniors, 7 seniors. So a veteran team comes into this gym, and we're playing at home tonight. That should help the Clockers. And like we always talk about in the tournament, you never know what you're going to get. You get a team like this that
Where did the Clockers find that out last year,
yeah,
huh?
You never know.
They walloped Auburn last year in the regular season and got shocked
Auburn looked like a different
right here
team.
at Ashland High.
Yeah, the Clockers had one down game. Unfortunately, it was the first game of the tournament, and it was at home. Let's hope that the trend is reversed tonight. 3 officials tonight, Bob, too. Going to be interesting.
The extra man.
Yeah, that sometimes screws the officials up.
Oh, yeah. Now you got to look at 2 other guys before you make your call.
Yeah. And then sometimes you have more calls. Sometimes you have less because of that. Well, good crowd tonight, too.
Clockers being introduced. You know, as we see Max take the floor, you know, Bob, I've been looking at the scores of the games, and I've noticed that when Max doesn't get his points, the Clockers have a hard time winning. I think he's getting extra attention from the other team's defense.
Oh, most likely a focus point for every team that plays the Clockers. Max is a scorer. And, you know, it's kind of axiomatic. If one of your better scorers doesn't have has an off game or doesn't have his best game, it's hard to win. Ashland's got good balance, good distribution, but really Max is the one offensive weapon that they have that most teams don't have an answer for. He's got a lot of arrows in his quiver. And now we'll pause for the national anthem. As we just instructed a photographer, the Clockers 12-8 this season, Bob, hoping to go 13-8.
They were 19-1 last year, and were the Tri-Valley League champions this year. I think they lost at least 7 league games.
It was a well-balanced league and a tougher league this year.
I'm thinking Westwood was the league champion this year.
Yeah, I think they were.
But the Clockers, in the way I've seen it, Bob, they've done better at home than they have on the road. And probably what team doesn't, but well, the Clockers have been very tough, particularly in the 4th period at home this year.
Very active. They play the whole game hard. Well-balanced team. Ready to tip it off. Here's Bob Thacker with the call.
Mike Boudreau jumps it up for the Clockers, but the Pirates control. The Pirates in orange. They're visiting orange. The Clockers in their home whites. Michael Boudreau starts off active. Knocks it out of bounds. 23. Putting it in is Nicholas Tremblay, the captain of the Pirates. The point guard looks to be 22.
Javier Morales.
Pass corralled at the last second. Morales. They swing it.
Clockers playing a man defense as they want to do.
Baseline drive up and in, and a nice move. That's Jared Buckley, also Buckley, a captain.
Buckley at the time. Good patience by Oxford.
Boudreau wanted to, didn't. Got Van Cleef a good look. Van Cleef toppled.
A lot of contact there.
No said it went out of bounds.
Well, like we talked about, sometimes the officials call out a ticky-tack, and sometimes they let them play. I think this may be one of those sets of officials that will let them play a little bit. Ashland's going to press.
Can you commit a foul while the ball is out of bounds, Bob?
Oh, yeah.
Well, the answer is yes, you can, and that might have been the call there. As Van Cleef just got toppled. Morales swings it into the corner. Now they want to go underneath. A clear three. He doesn't get it.
Max rebound on the floor. That was good boxing out. Good team defense.
Dan Cassie took that one. He's 33. Michael Boudreau is 22. Spencer Abadou, no good, 21. Michael with the rebound, up and in.
Nice follow and finish. Was that John Van Cleef, 32?
Indeed it was. Oh, I thought it was Mike. Was it Mike Boudreau or John Van?
I think it was John Van Cleef.
Okay. Check that later. A long three, in and out. Mike Boudreau skies.
You know, I watched the pregame, Bob, and all they do is practice the three. This team, I think, likes the three.
Max throws it away.
And Max up in the air, anticipating a move underneath, didn't happen, and he throws it out of bounds. Good thought. Max has to look for his offense.
You know, I saw some stats in the paper or online today. There's more threes every year that goes by.
Yeah.
More threes.
That 12, 15-footer that we used to shoot is an antiquity now, Bob.
Muscles in. Offensive.
Good call.
Sean McCarthy had an idea there, but he got caught.
Shot a little drop step, but he moved both feet. He looks like a pretty physical player.
Max cross court to Mike Boudreau. They get it to Van Cleef in the corner. Front rim, he gets it back. They fight for it. Cam to Max, no. It's tipped by a Clocker, tracked down by Van Cleef.
Nice hustle by Van Cleef that time to get that one.
Fresh shot clock for Ashland. Michael Boudreau, the stutter step is a travel.
A little shuffle. I'll tell you, good hustle on the part of Van Cleef. That makes a difference. Getting those 50-50 balls is going to pay dividends.
Helter-skelter play. It's only 2-2 with 3 minutes into the game.
Yep.
The Clockers and the Pirates from Ashland High School.
Well, the Clocker press is slowing down the Oxford offense.
Bob, we're in the Division III Central this year.
And amazing.
And that's why you see teams like Oxford.
Realignment.
Yes.
All of a sudden you're playing teams you don't recognize, even though they might be closer geographically.
Spencer, in and out.
There's a foul.
Mike crashes the board. Yeah. Didn't bother to bring it down. He just tried to put it right back up. And could this be a shooting foul? Should this be shooting foul? Mike doesn't think so.
Yeah, should be.
They're forcing him to the line. Mike may have thought he was just rebounded.
Well, he did release the ball. Low shot that time. We always talk about kids that grew up with gyms that had low ceilings. He line drive that one in.
First sub of the game, Abadou out. Paul Boudreau into the game. Paul wears 34. One free throw. Who's got it? Who's got it? Paul fighting for it. Did he earn a jump ball?
Sure, Paul in the game and right away makes his presence felt. Again, those 50-50 balls, that's going to make a huge difference in the game.
The arrow's pointing the Clockers' way. Underneath, Faniff couldn't finish.
So he had good position, just a lot of contact there. It didn't go down for him.
Down the lane, the scoop fouled on the arm. I don't blame him for taking that, Bob. Jared Buckley did the right thing there.
Buckley, I think that's the first move to the hoop by Oxford.
There was an opening.
Yeah, we're halfway into this first period.
Yeah, just that baseline move to start the game.
That was it.
The first goes for Jared Buckley.
Jared's got all three of the
They got
Oxford
four
points.
captains out of...
a lot of captains.
1, 2, 3.
13 players.
Yeah.
He's got all of Oxford's points, and they lead 4-3.
Paul Boudreau. Oh, boy.
That's a jump ball.
By rule.
And the possession arrow indicator is off, so we're going to have to go by the officials, but it's Oxford's ball.
Morales has speed. You can see that, Bob.
Yeah, Max doing a nice job funneling him to the double team.
Sets the pick and gets it back. Paul Boudreau on a Morales all the way up and in.
And Morales taking advantage of that lane.
Feinberg wants to go coast to answer Max Feinberg.
That's what they need from Max. You know, good, solid offensive charge.
Again, he bulls in. Too strong.
Yeah, that was turned the wrong way. Tough to make that shot.
Feinberg looking for...
Yeah, a little too ambitious with that pass.
Who was he looking for? He was looking for John Van Cleef. It didn't connect.
Yeah.
Again, a bad move. He turned it over.
Yep. Well, I think Oxford a little anxious to try to beat that press, Bob. Made an unfortunate turnover there.
Aiden Gallivan
sometimes
checks
even when
in.
you're not pressing, it has an effect on the other team.
Aiden's
Oxford 6,
24.
Ashland 5.
Faniff, Paul Boudreau, Max wants to drive, bottled up.
Deep
Michael
three.
the long.
There's a little push underneath.
Jeez, he almost stuck another one into that corner of the rim in the backboard.
Yeah. Yeah, there's that little push off the ball that gives you a wonderful position. Everybody wonders why the offensive player wasn't even close to the ball. It's because he was pushed.
Tremblay took that foul.
Yeah.
And we lose it right away.
Max, a little bit left on the rim. Keep shooting, Max. The offense will come. He's a streak offensive player.
Buckley, Tremblay, now Morales with the ball. Loses his dribble. Tremblay now going nowhere. Morales almost a travel.
Good switching man.
Nice
pass
inside, blocked by Van Cleef, but we got a foul.
Yeah, I think Cam Faniff maybe got a little bit of the wrist there. See who they call it on. Van Cleef, his second.
High energy player and a rebounder for the Clockers, and looks like Rabideau wants to come in for him. And for the first time tonight, we see number 14, Mitch Porter, re-entering. Mitch was injured earlier in the season, wasn't he, Bob?
Yeah, he had a bit there where he was hobbled.
And he's back now.
Quick guard. Does a nice job controlling the offense.
For the tournament, he was an important player in the first half of the season. Felled by an injury, now back in action.
Buckley, 6 points now in the first period, 4 from the stripe.
Mitch essentially a non-shooter. Into Paul Boudreau, he missed the layup.
You know, looking for the contact. Paul, look up, get the basket. Don't worry about the contact. He was great position that time.
Buckley had an idea, bottled
Nice
up,
steal.
stolen by Porter.
What a nice takeaway. Good job.
Rabideau. Porter directing traffic. Max gets it into Faniff. He turns and short arms it.
Well, Ashland is getting opportunities, Bob. They're just not warmed up shooting.
Pirates have slowed down on offense, Bob.
Yeah.
I didn't see much running after that rebound.
No, the press has been effective. I'll tell you, this Oxford team is already tired.
Morales very close to taking an extra step, Bob, before he passes.
Unforced error there, and he turns the ball over. But Ashland's still stuck on 5 points with a minute 50 left in the first period. They've had plenty of good offensive opportunities.
Faniff is out, and Francis Lubega is in, number 5 for Francis.
A terrific rebounder and a great hustle player.
The turnaround, Paul Boudreau is blocked.
Yeah, Paul right into the pressure. He needs to take that step to the hoop, make a little space for himself.
Morales pushes it, they swing it. They tried to get it into the big man.
Francis, a nice overplay there. Could have been called for the foul with the left hand, but not much contact.
That ball never got to Sean McCarthy.
No. Good move by Coach.
Sean McCarthy working hard to get open, but
Francis will do a good
he's
job.
Right on him.
Yeah.
They get it into him finally. Backs in the little turn away. That's his shot.
Yeah, he's a big body. Made a nice space for himself.
They have to front and back him to see what his passing ability is like, Bob.
Yeah.
Test him, you know?
Well, Ashland's got 2 things going on now, Bob. Their offense is way out deep, or they're trying to get the ball into the pivot, and there's no in between. They need somebody about at the stripe. That will screw up this defense that Oxford's playing. But right now, they're playing right into the Oxford defense hand, and they're not shooting very well.
Morales trying to slow down Feinberg and gets caught with a foul, Bob. Both teams with 5 team fouls, I think. No, 3 and 2.
3 and 2. 5 total. Spencer.
Long.
Nice rebound.
Michael Boudreau squares up and bangs it home.
And that's what Ashland needed.
Something had happened here. The ball got away.
Yeah, they hadn't checked it in, so 40 seconds left first period. Ashland within 3.
Gallivan is going to inbound it. Got Morales with them. Morales, the primary ball handler.
Coach Tony McDonald trying to direct his team play by play. He's one of those yellow screamer coaches. Nice overplay by Spencer there. Stepped in. There's a foul.
Morales with a foul. Picks up 2 quick ones here in the last minute.
Well, I'll tell you what that's all about. He's a quick little guy. He sees Spencer Robidoux, who looks like he's a big body. He thinks he's quicker than him. I don't think he knows Spence. Spencer's pretty quick, pretty savvy.
I wouldn't step in front of a revved up Spencer Robidoux. And that's what Morales did.
Not wise.
He's open. He squares. Long air ball. Good if it goes. It doesn't. The first period comes to an end with the small score of Oxford 10 and Ashland 7. And you know the Clockers didn't play that badly. Just didn't get any points.
No, they did everything but score. Ashland cheerleaders allowed on the floor, Bob, between periods. This is something new. We heard that they were prohibited from the gym floor. But they're here tonight. Allie Jenkins has taken over that squad, and they've made tremendous improvement already. Now Ashland.
Now what are you talking about, Bob?
Yeah, they just did some tumbling runs in front of us, and I guess they're allowed to do that if the
out
officials
here.
Don't. Yeah. She was. You were doing the stats, but she flipped by us.
It was fast.
Oh, she was quick. Matter of fact, if you could do that while you dribbled, I think nobody could stop you. Now Oxford has 10 points, Ashland 7, and I really think Ashland's had the better of the play, but for one thing, they haven't put the ball in the hole. They've had plenty of chances.
Only 2 starters. I should check that. 3 starters on the floor as Lubega and Porter are in to start this second period. Coach Champagne looking for a scoring combination, but he's got Van Cleef and Faniff both on the bench.
Zone for Oxford still. Ashland still poking around the perimeter.
Porter's open for just the moment. Stolen away.
It's the most dangerous pass in basketball.
Easy layup for Buckley, and he makes it. Jared Buckley.
Just what you don't want to do is that skip pass. That's anybody's ball.
Clockers have to maintain patience on offense. Can't panic.
It's one of those zones. They're sagging, and that's a good timeout by Mark Champagne. He's seen it. There's not much going on out there that has intention. There's some ball movement in this perimeter passing, but not in a way that will get a result. And for Ashland, only 2 team fouls, but John Van Cleef has both of them, and they miss him on the floor.
Oxford with 4, so neither squad in danger of getting to the bonus situation.
No, that's an indication of the ball's not going inside, Bob. You're going to put the ball inside to create fouls, or you're going to push the ball up. Oxford's playing this kind of a passive sagging zone, and Ashland's not stepping into it. They need that one extra inside pass, a lay down pass, and some movement. They're not getting it. They're getting
what did you see when the
umbrella.
Clockers came out of that first period, end of the first period, into the second period? It seemed like they just perimeter passed the whole time.
Correct. Yeah.
I'm not even sure they ended up with a shot.
Well, they need a little penetration, and they need some help. And the guy that can do that is Max. The guy that can help him do that is Mitch Porter. They've got some good inside players, Bob. They just got to get the ball to them. And right now, they're still settling for that perimeter passing. They're 24 feet away and just eating clock, and there's only 5 seconds left on the shot clock.
Max, yes, that's a 3 ball.
And that's the kind of thing he can do for you.
And now the Clockers press on defense. Coach Champagne trying to inspire his troops, and they throw it away.
They do. I tell you, that press has been effective. Coach Tony McDonald, now the 6th man on the floor for Oxford. He's calling his point guard over and giving him some instructions. Don't throw the ball 48 feet out of bounds. I think that was the instruction.
Max. Mitch Porter to Max.
Nice little skip pass in.
Faniff into the game. The quick turnaround.
Again, a lot of contact, but
Galvin.
Cam right into the pressure. Cam's got to keep his dribble till he gets that position. Left foot into the player.
Morales out of the game for the Pirates. Traveling.
Yeah, they're letting a lot go. That was good defense. Good no call there, and he did take a step. And here's Cam at the 20-foot line, but now dropping down to the box. That's where we want 2 players on one of the boxes.
Calls a play.
Here's a good move.
Into the paint. They kick it out. Michael tried to thread it. It looked like to Cam. He got it eventually up and in.
That's where they need that 2-man inside game. That's going to bear fruit for them.
Cam Faniff.
And the press working 12-12. Ashland now playing a little more intensity, Bob. A little more purpose. It's a good timeout by Mark Champagne.
Oh, yeah, I think Oxford called that timeout.
No, I mean the one previous. This one is because Tony McDonald said, what the heck just happened? We're kind of cruising along, and all of a sudden Ashland puts 5 up without an answer.
Now, Bob, did they gain the 10-second line prior to the timeout?
I guess not, because there's 21 seconds left on the shot clock. Oh, you mean were they over the 10-second line?
Yes.
Oh, I don't think so.
And what difference does it make?
Just where you inbounds the ball, that's all. That doesn't make a difference. But
where will they inbound this
If
ball?
they put it inbounds in the backcourt, that's a good question. Does the 10-second clock start over again? I don't know the answer to that, Bob.
Ask the ref.
Could you get another 10 seconds? Good question.
Do they still have to get over the 10? Are they over the 10?
Yeah. Right there.
Okay. Well, he says they were over the timeline, so they'll
Which
get
eliminates our question completely.
Yeah, it's tough to ask a question during the flow of the game, but we'll find out the answer to that.
No, but I mean, the point that we were trying to say, what if it wasn't? Where would it be? And
Do you get the full court to play with if you call a timeout? I think not. That probably doesn't make sense, but I don't know.
Oh, boy, they bottled him
up
just
deep.
Deep.
About Spencer.
Buckley off the mark.
Not even close.
They fight for the boards. Who's got it?
Pinballs, and
Michael Boudreau.
Mike Boudreau comes up with it. Good help by Cam Faniff there.
energized Ashland team out of that Champaign timeout, Bob.
Yeah,
just like
good
you
job.
said.
Let's see if Coach McDonald settled his charges down. Actually still playing that sagging zone. And there's Max into the open spot. He gets fouled. That's what we needed, that movement to that open spot in the zone, because they're sagging on the player with the ball. That opens up something for someone else. Max draws the foul.
They are really clogging that paint, Bob.
They are. That's their theory. That one on Aiden Gallivan.
Max gives Ashland a lead for the first time in a long time.
That might be their first since early in the first period, like 2-zip or something like that. Max,
give him 2.
Max, a pretty good free throw shooter.
And the pressure continues. Boudreau and Feinberg pressuring the back court.
You know, they only get 2 team fouls and they're playing full court press. This is good. It bodes well for the clock.
And the steal. Oh, Michael almost had it. Buckley got by. Strong to the hoop.
Offensive.
No basket. Offensive.
Good step in there. I think it was Mitch Porter that took the contact, Bob. I'm not sure.
Wow.
But wow. That takes courage, as you know.
That boy had a head of steam up, Bob.
He did. And the fouls starting to pile up a bit for Oxford. 6 team fouls. Shooting the penalty next foul.
Cam thought about wheeling, thought about passing, got it to Rabidou.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, a little late, just a little late on that second pass.
I mean, the worst they would end up with would have been an over-the-back foul on the Pirates on Michael Boudreau, but it was just so late that it was just out of bounds.
The cheerleaders showing versatility. They retrieve the ball, make a nice two-handed chest pass. The official. 9 seconds on the shot clock.
Michael wide open for a 3. Bang!
And Michael makes sure.
Clockers have jumped out by 5.
Yeah, all of a sudden the press, I think, has worn Oxford down even in the first half, to the point where Javier Morales has to come back into the game.
A lot of dribbling. Buckley traveled. Oh, a blocking foul.
You know, he fell on his own and they called a block foul on Mitch. That was one of those from behind calls. It's too bad.
Might have been screened.
Yeah. It'd be nice if the officials would come over and correct that, but they stick up for each other. Sort of like us announcers. There's a step.
Oh,
it is the makeup call. He did drag that back foot, but Mitch earned 1 foul. Ashland gets the ball back, up 5. 4 minutes.
A little too much dribbling for Sean McCarthy. He's too far away. Got a good idea.
Yeah, not his forte.
They get it into Fan. If he gets bumped, thought about putting up the turnaround.
Well, they're probing. This is where they need
Faniff, the little jumper is good.
Yeah,
Cam Faniff.
Cam found that little open slot. They were probing that time. Nice face-up. I wouldn't call it that even a jumper. It was just a face-up, spot-up set shot. Biggest lead for either team now. 19-12, 7-point lead for the Clockers.
Clockers are on a 12-0 run ball. Morales has to take one. He falls away. It goes out of bounds. It's Ashland ball.
Yeah, trying to do a little too much there on his own.
Clockers are down 12-7. And Coach Champagne called his timeout. It's now 19-12 Ashland timeout.
Coach McDonald calling a timeout as he's trying to slow the momentum. 3:29 left, second period. And Ashland, after trailing 10-7, has put up 9 points. Oxford's put up, what, 5? No, Ashland put up 12 points. So 12-5 this period, Bobby.
No,
Quite a turnaround.
No, Oxford had 10 at the end of the first. They got
10,
2
that's
points
right.
this period.
Yeah, 2 points.
And I think they had the first 2. I think they were ahead 12-7, and then the Clockers.
That's right. They
12.
came out and scored, and that's been it. They haven't scored since early on. So thank you for straightening me out on the scoring. I know Ashland's leading 19-12. 3:29 left in the second period.
It's all a blur.
I got to get those new reading glasses, Bob. It's been a long day. Been a long day. Well, nice crowd tonight in the gym. The Oxford people, I looked on their website at the high school. They had dedicated buses bringing in folks. But it's a pretty good way to travel, and it's a cold winter's night, but nice to see this kind of support in the gym for both teams. Glauca's student section is pretty crowded, and look down the stands. It's a pretty full house tonight.
Here we go.
Glauca ball.
Paul Boudreau brings it up. Max the fall away there. Oh, in and out and in and out.
Yeah, that was a nice little move, in, out, but got a good open look again.
Morales against Boudreau. Buckley, they got it into McCarthy. Couldn't get it to go.
He had a nice little move. He used his body well, but just couldn't finish.
Spencer season opening, takes it, blocked by Buckley.
Yeah, a lot of contact there, but the smaller man, a lot of ball too, so they let that one go.
A three-pointer, no. McCarthy. Finally gets a basket for Oxford. Max, no. McCarthy almost had the board. Paul Boudreau, no.
Again, Ashland's getting good looks.
What happened? A traveling call.
The three officials here, they caught that one that they don't normally. He took a little running step to get started. He's shaking his head, but yeah, he did.
Pro style.
Nice break for Ashland, who the last couple of possessions have had a little bit of a disruption in their offense.
Fan have had it underneath. Blocked. Blocked again.
Into a forest of arms, and again, block, no contact.
Buckley's got a knack ball.
Yeah. Well, if they let you play, in a different game, you might have 5 fouls by now. There's that skip pass.
Tried to get it into Buckley that time.
Somebody stepped in there and caused contact.
Lobega and Porter check in. Feinberg and who is that? Faneuf check out.
Cam, his first foul.
Tremblay to inbound.
Good.
Well, the rabbit who bodied McCarthy, I guess. Yeah.
I guess so, but
didn't seem like much.
It was both ways.
They're fighting for position.
Yeah.
Lobega takes him this time.
Too bad they were close to a 5-second violation too.
Oh, another push.
And there's the push back.
5 seconds.
And 3-3.
No, the push
foul
back.
on Dan Casey.
Didn't see that one. Was that fighting through a pick?
That was the Ashland official calling it back. 2 minutes left, Bob, as the clock is 5-point lead. This is the magic 2 minutes now.
Lobega, too strong. Rabideau didn't save it.
Yeah, caught him unawares, and also insult to injury. Caught him in the mush there. Ashland's going to press. Good strategy. It's been a great strategy.
They get it into Buckley. He does it himself across the 10-second line into the lane. He dishes. McCarthy. They swing it. Buckley into McCarthy, and the whistle blows.
A little touch foul there. Francis, a tenacious defender.
It is Francis, yes.
But he got caught there with that little right hand on the elbow.
Who was guarding? Are we in a penalty with D?
I don't think so.
D.
Well, yeah, I guess so. Well, all of a sudden, we have the 1-and-1 situation. Sean McCarthy goes to the line.
Is that his first trip tonight or second?
His first trip, yep.
Haven't seen the form of Sean McCarthy from the free throw line.
Making the correction. It's they've got us up there for 17 fouls.
It was an accident.
They just reversed it, so it's 6. I thought that was the case.
So he'll inbound.
Yeah. So it's a possession as opposed to a shooting foul.
A steal and a kick.
A little kick.
Well, that will reset the shot clock. Which was at 30 anyway. Morales could have had a 3, didn't take it. He will. No.
Nice
Paul,
rebound.
very high for that one. Porter brings it to the arc. Ball at the arc. Threads it in nicely. The turnaround by Michael doesn't go.
Yeah, didn't face up. He kind of threw that one over his shoulder. He had a nice position, but turned the wrong way.
Clock is stuck on 19. Under a minute to play until halftime. Michael goes for the steal, doesn't get it.
Had time to get back, though.
But gee, Nick Tremblay kind of froze.
Yeah, he had a chance there, just a free chance.
He became a spectator.
Almost.
McCarthy lets it go before the shot clock violation, and they call a violation. I don't know if it grazed the rim or not.
Yeah, it was under the rim, partially blocked. And here's a good move. Coach Champagne putting in a more offensive-minded player in Max with 37 seconds left. Max doesn't have a foul, so not in trouble that way. Gives us more of a chance to get some offense going here.
Spencer takes it in the corner, gives up his dribble. Lobega. The clock is swinging at the arc. Spence.
A lot of standing around now.
Mike Boudreau, it's inside to Paul. He dishes it out. Mike is open. He squares and makes a three. Michael Boudreau.
That's a biggie. His second three.
6 seconds left until halftime. The Pirates spin. Buckley's going to take it. It's a 3-ball. Swish! That's the half.
What a way to end the half. Jared Buckley, an answer there.
Tremblay, Boudreau and Buckley with threes just before halftime. And its score at halftime is Ashland 22 and Oxford 17. An exciting second period, Bob.
A very different second period, Bob, as Ashland scores 15 to Oxford 7, and 3 of those were at the buzzer. So they were really 15-4 until the last few seconds there. The Clocker press paying dividends. Pretty good distribution on scoring, and all of a sudden it's a 22-17 game. It's 5 points. Too bad it wasn't 8, but it's 5 points, and that's a nice lead at halftime.
That's a big bucket by Buckley
Huge.
at the buzzer.
Yeah, huge.
8's a lot different than 5.
Yeah.
Halftime at Ashland High School. We'll be back with the exciting second half in this MIAA tournament game in 10 seconds.
Television coverage brought to you in part by Marathon Deli. Marathon Deli, providing food services to the Metro West for over 15 years.
Second half just about to start. Bob, the stats, there's not much on the scoring.
No, not much of a distribution, especially for Oxford, where Jared Buckley has 11 of his 17 points. Sean McCarthy has 4. Javier Morales has 2, total of 17. Ashland, a little distribution between Max Feinberg with 7, Mike Boudreau with 11, Cam Fanoff with 4. So not a lot of players scoring, Bob.
Only 6 players scoring in the first half. The Pirates start the second half with the first possession. Ashland starting with very tenacious defense, just the way they started the game. That pass was to McCarthy's back.
Cam Fanoff just standing there doing a good job positionally.
Max, the little jumper, no.
Again, a good look. If Ashland ever came out of a start of a game or a halftime hot, I'd be surprised.
Buckley is worrying me, Bob. Now he's rebounding as well as doing the scoring.
Yeah. And
he's getting a lot of blocked shots as well. He's number 20.
Yeah, he's a good player.
And they get it into him on the low post, and it rolls off.
Yeah, Spencer Rubadou doing the defensive job there. He's giving up about 6 inches.
Who's that? That was Van Cleef missing a layup.
Yeah, again, caught a little bit too far underneath. Johnny has to learn to use this whole body and spread out, not get small, get big.
Look at this now. What? Morales is not bringing the ball up anymore? Now
Yeah.
Now he resets.
Spencer now playing point guard defense.
Between the legs, down the lane. The rondo move, but no shot. Buckley squeezes it up and in.
Yeah, Buckley a little stepping under. Close to a travel, but instead he's rewarded with a 2. Ashland's lead is 3.
First 2 points of the second half, and they go to the Oxford Pirates. They're in orange. The Clockers in their home whites. Who?
Cam a little flat that time on the shot. He had a nice open look. Just had to put a little air under it.
He gave that one to Buckley,
Foul.
and it's his 3rd. Oh, there's a development.
Yeah, that's something that the coaches should note because he's their offense.
Underneath, blocked again.
Buckley? No. Looks like Dan Casey.
Was Casey 33?
It's 35. It's on Sean McCarthy.
Jesus, first foul. Can you believe that? Didn't he have an offensive foul? They don't count.
No, I guess not.
Or was it? Maybe that was a traveling ball.
Yeah, it might have been.
What I called an offensive foul.
John Van Cleef makes them both his first points of the game.
Rockers led by 5 at halftime. They lead by 5 now.
Nice step in and steal there.
Rabidou, the up fake, couldn't get it to go. And Buckley with the rebound.
Yeah, you need
ahead to Morales.
You need the reward when you steal the ball like that. Morales likes to go behind the back. And
good hesitation move there. Blocked by Phaneuf.
Again, Cam just being big.
Rabidou to the hoop. Couldn't get it to go. Phaneuf with the rebound, the short armor there.
There's a lot of contact, but these balls, they're bunnies. Somebody's got to go in. Ashland has scored twice. Oxford twice.
It's going to be a blocking foul.
Yeah, that was
on Rabidou.
The tractor trailer coming through, and Spencer got steamrolled.
Here comes Lobega. Phaneuf is out.
Cam, 2 fouls. Nobody in trouble for Ashland. 3 fouls on Jared Buckley for Oxford. Watch that one. Spencer doing his best.
Casey goes baseline, but the foul's on Lobega on the floor, I believe.
Yeah, if Francis could control that little touch foul.
2 fouls on each team in the
so
first
tenacious.
2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 team fouls. Different start to this half.
McCarthy into the lane and didn't go to the hoop. 3 ball is no good.
Long rebound.
Morales takes it in, squeezes it up, but he traveled.
Wow, I didn't see that one. But
a screen blob, I didn't see it either.
Francis did a nice job there of elevating and caused Morales to alter his shot. Must have taken a step.
Max Feinberg wheeling to the hoop.
Max with that little spin move, he's got that down to a science. He's so quick with that first step. It's just one of those things. He can get to the rack whenever he wants.
He'll be shooting 2.
Javier Morales, his 3rd foul.
3 minutes into the second half. Oxford already with 3 team fouls. Ashland with 2. Max gets the first. Here comes Porter. Rabidou goes out.
Max, his 8th point. 3rd from the line. He's got a 3.
Nice rebound by Francis Lobega on the offensive board.
Nice hustle that time. Good quicks, good anticipation.
He's open. He takes it and makes it. Michael Boudreau.
Mike Boudreau. He looks very comfortable stepping into that 3, doesn't he, Rob?
When he squares up, he's very, very accurate.
Yeah. From
anywhere on the floor.
And Ashland up 9 now. That's a big lead. I think as big as we've had.
Into McCarthy. Oh, he dishes it out again.
He drew a crowd really
almost quick. Travels again, takes it in strong.
Francis,
picks up a foul on Mike Boudreau.
Poor Francis. He's just so good at getting there, but he's.
You're right. It is on Francis.
They get him every time. Ticky tacks. That time he stepped over. It wasn't quite planted. That's his 3rd foul.
Morales at the line, I think, for the first time tonight. Punches it up there in a very poor form and misses it. He's got a hesitation just like he does in his dribble.
He does.
In his first step.
Yeah.
There it is again. He punches it up. Second one rolls in. Nice soft touch, though.
Yeah.
28-20. Clock is leading by 8.
You can tell the players that have a feel for the ball. Mike Boudreau won. Max has feel for the ball.
Lobega. His first shot of the night. Short.
Nice. Mike Boudreau stepping in.
Offensive board by Michael, but couldn't finish it.
Good second chances by Ashland, but boy, they have missed a lot of shots tonight. They're still up by 8.
Very good second chances here in the second half.
And that should be a jump ball.
It should be a jump.
Oh,
and they called a foul.
That's
it's looked like it just went into his arm.
Yeah, he just received that
Who'd they
handoff.
give it to? They gave it to Van Cleef.
And that's his third.
He wasn't even the one that caused the steal.
Yeah.
It just went and rolled into his hands.
Here's
Buckley. Wow.
Buckley with a left arm ward off, and they didn't call that one.
Van Cleef strong. He wasn't going to miss that one.
There you go, John. Went to the basket with purpose that time, and here's the press.
Lobega almost had the steal.
Get back, Francis. There he goes. Good hustle back.
Morales. Buckley. Must have been a travel, Bob.
Got to call something before that.
Did he step out or was it a travel? Not sure.
I didn't hear the call, but it must have been a travel. It wasn't a foul.
Couldn't be anything else. Yeah.
Either you palmed it or he traveled, but I think it was a travel. Max playing the point now, looking for an opening.
Oh, boy. Just couldn't find it.
Yeah. No, he threw that ball at Chris Van Cleef's feet. That's a tough one. You have to feel that like a short hop infielder.
Tough for Chris, just into the game for the first time tonight.
Here's Max looking for a little help.
Couldn't find the handle on that. Morales, coast to coast.
Nice move all the way down the floor by himself.
Good finish. Ashland's lead is 6. Third period action. The Clockers and the Pirates. Timeout, Clockers.
Mark Champagne looking at that ineffectual offense right there. A little bit of standing around. Ashland up 6 after Javier Morales coast to coast. A nice look away. Made the layup to bring Oxford back a bit. But really, the Clockers have had their way offensively. They just haven't been able to put the ball in the ocean in the second half. They scored 8 points this period, but they could have scored 18. A lot of second chances too, Bob.
This is a Division III Central MIAA tournament game. The first one of the tournament for the Clockers and the Pirates. The winner goes on to face the #1 seed in the division, Uxbridge, on Thursday night, 2 days after this. Tonight's game being played on February 24th, 2015. The Oxford Pirates play out of the Southern Worcester County League.
Southern Worcester County.
They were the second place finishers this year with a 9-7 record, and they were 10-9 overall. Clockers, of course, in the Tri-Valley League, and finished their season 12-8. So mid-seeds, you might say, Bob, meeting up, and the prize tonight is you get to face the #1 team, the #1 seed, the Uxbridge Club, which was the champion of Oxford's league. I think they finished 19-4, someone said.
As you said, a pretty balanced league except for Uxbridge, who had quite a season.
Although the seedings, Bob, as we know, are based exclusively on your one-loss record.
Purely on record.
And you could be in the weakest league and be the #1 seed. Nothing to do with strength of schedule.
Chris Van Cleef doing a nice job that time, but a contested rebound, the ball goes off him, and Oxford gets a new 30 in possession. We said early on, Bob, those 50-50 balls have a lot to do with who wins games. Ashland's doing a nice job of guarding the middle.
A long three, no.
And I think you want Javier shooting that shot from what I've seen.
Yeah. You know, he made that nice play, and he's feeling it a little bit now. But you can't do it yourself.
Well, you got to stay within your limitations.
Yeah, you got to play the game.
And Oxford has played a consistent defense. They played zone most of the game, focused on Max a little bit, but they have not pressed. I don't think they're that kind of defensive team.
Max, Michael Bass, they swing it out. Rabideau open for the moment, didn't take it. Shot clock at 10. No, foul on the floor.
Cam was getting ridden that time. Coach Tony McDonald discussing that with the official, but the official's probably not going to say, geez, what was I thinking? Let me reverse that call.
Cam gets it right back. He's at the arc. Underneath to Mike Boudreau. He couldn't get it up.
Mike got hammered that time. No call. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Max into the jaws of the zone. Got to find the little holes in the zone.
Max the fall away.
Yeah, you can tell he made up his mind. I'm going to shoot this time, and it wasn't there for him. You can't force it.
McCarthy bullies his way in, as is his style.
Yeah,
and he's got the Pirates within 4.
He's a physical player, and they're back within 4.
Max right to the rim, but no idea. And a nice offensive something by Cam Paniff.
The putback, and that's a big follow. That's what they need, support.
Porter on Morales.
One minute left, third period. Ashland up by 6.
The fall away off by Buckley.
Buckley a little fatigued maybe.
And a steal by Casey.
Again, Max don't have to make that
pass. Bumped by Rabideau, and he gets called. Or is there a timeout?
Timeout. Max didn't have to make that pass. That's an unforced error. He had clear sailing, and there was nothing going on up ahead.
46 seconds left in the third period. Ashland with a 6-point lead and the ball, or the Pirates have the ball?
Yeah. Yep. Dave Bethel keeping control of the crowd tonight. I don't think there's been an incident all season.
No.
Not sure if it's the fear factor or just Dave
he's
and his
tough.
calming presence.
He's tough, but he's fair.
Tough, but fair is the way I've always described him.
Yeah, Bob, I did some research on the three-point line today, because I never knew how far it was.
Yeah, you did internet research.
High school, 19 feet, 9 inches.
19.9.
College,
20
feet, 9 inches. Professional, 22 in the corners.
Yeah, because of the square
23 and 9 inches at the top of the key.
Yeah, I think if they did 23 feet all the way around, you couldn't be on the sideline and still be in the court.
International and WNBA, 22 feet.
22. That makes more sense, probably.
It's a fair progression, I think. Yeah.
6 points, the differential, Bob, and Ashland in that golden minute.
McCarthy thought he had one, he didn't.
Yeah, good rebound, Cam. They're not getting any second shots.
30 seconds left. Shot clock at 22. Porter, his first shot of the night, wide open.
Might be,
and it didn't go.
Good time, wide open. Take the shot, Mitch.
You have to take it. If they're not guarding you.
Absolutely.
You have to take the
shot. Look good
doing
it, but sometimes too much time to hold.
Or they will never guide you. Michael got fouled, or came very close to being stripped cleanly.
Yeah.
Because I think he kind of lost the handle on that one, boy.
Yeah.
But he got bumped.
It was close. Possession. Not in the penalty yet.
5 team fouls on the Pirates, 4 on the clock as they inbound with 9 seconds. A baseline up and in.
Nice reverse there. Use the rim to protect.
Mike Boudreau.
And Mike Boudreau, a big basket there with virtually no time left on the clock, Bob, and that was an important basket for the
Desperation heave doesn't go. It's 34-26 after 3.
Well, 12-point period for the Clockers. 9 points for Oxford as the Clockers extend their lead. Up 8 now. Well, that was a big basket at the end. I'll tell you that the press has been effective for Ashland. It's worn down this Oxford team, and you can see even though Buckley scored a bunch of points, he looks tired. And at this point, Oxford, if you can believe it, has 3 players that have scored. That's it, total.
In the latter part of that third period, you could see that Buckley wasn't himself.
Yeah, Buckley had 4 points, but he looked pretty tired. The cheerleaders came over in front of the student section and did a cheer, Bob. And the crowd is whipped into a frenzy.
Clockers have 8 minutes left to close out the Pirates and move on to Uxbridge on Thursday to face the #1 seed. Division III Central, the MIAA tournament. Bob Thacker and Bob Martell with you tonight on Ashland Television.
Javier Morales and Jared Buckley with 3 fouls for Oxford. Francis Lubega with 3, and John Van Cleef with 3 for the Clockers.
But don't look for any subs. With 8 minutes left to go in your season, you got to give everything.
Nice strong move by Cam Fanup to start the 4th period. That's what they need, that purposeful trip to the basket like that.
Stolen away by Paul Boudreau.
That's Buckley who threw it away.
Mitch finds Michael, and they take it away from him.
And Buckley on the floor to get it back.
Morales.
Mitch, nice
Bottled
square-up defense. Did a great job.
Very good. This is Tremblay. Hasn't been shooting tonight. McCarthy very deep. Got pushed somewhere along the line. McCarthy doesn't even understand the call himself.
No kid. If Paul Boudreau...
Sean McCarthy thought it was on him.
Yeah, he thought he put his head down and ran over Paul. Instead, that official said, yeah, I saw something. Let's call it on the defense.
I mean,
early on they were making no calls, and that was okay. But
Paul
now,
didn't even have a chance to foul.
He couldn't get out of the way.
5 team fouls on each club now. What do we got? Did he travel? He must have.
I think this was a foul on
Buck.
On McCarthy, on Sean McCarthy, I
Boy.
believe.
Well, wait a minute. I'm not getting. Yeah, it's a foul on number 34. Who is that?
There is no 34. I think it's 35.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go. 35. And that's his 3rd. And I don't know if that's a makeup call or what, but 2 little fouls there. Neither one should have been called.
Yeah. Invisible. Almost.
Strategically, it gives Oxford 16 fouls. The Clockers will be shooting 1-1.
3-ball. Paul Boudreau.
Paul Boudreau. Hello, Paul. There's his first points, and it's a nice 3.
From
Clockers
19
up 13.
feet and 9 inches.
How do you know that? How do you know these things? Is Max playing nice defense? Good help.
They double Morales.
Good help.
Spencer tapped it out of bounds.
And Morales trying to do a little too much on his own, not getting much help. The Clockers playing great team defense.
McCarthy is open.
Spencer got a finger on it.
1-on-4. Max all the way. Followed by Paul, but it won't count.
Tell you, Max,
good body control.
Just so quick. He was cutting through 3 players there, and none of them could get to him except to foul him. Javier has a 4th foul.
With a 13-point bulge here. 6:29 to go in the game. Feinberg uncharacteristically off by a mile on that free throw.
Yeah, he didn't look like he was ready to release. And his
timeout.
Tony McDonald using one of his timeouts. He's got 2 left.
Can't blame him, Bobby. Now or never for the Pirates.
They're down 13. If nothing else, he gives his team a little bit of a blow because he hasn't gone deep tonight, Bob.
And he can't now.
No, and with this much time left and this much of a deficit, I just don't know who has 13 points in him out there. Jared Buckley, they've been wearing him down. He's had a monster night. He's got 15 points out of 26 for Oxford. So
Casey and Tremblay do not shoot 33. Casey.
And Morales has
Tremblay
5 points, but he's
23.
really not a scorer. He's a point guard. Sean McCarthy has 6.
Aiden Gallivan has been the only sub, I think, number 24.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
He's gone 6 players.
So if Coach Champagne wants to do something now after a made basket or an out-of-bounds play, put the press on. These guys they don't have much left in the tank. Spencer Robidoux looking like after this game he wants to play another game. The rest of these guys look pretty fresh. Ashland doesn't go real deep, Bob, but
Coach Mark Champagne's played 9, but
played 9 players, and that's a big difference.
But Chris Van Cleef, a very few seconds.
Yeah.
So essentially 8. Much better. 40-26. Ashland leading by 14, the biggest lead of the night. Buckley open for the 3. Casey couldn't get the bounce.
Yeah, the quick
Boudreau
doesn't help them.
Hesitation dribble across the timeline in the corner to Porter.
Use the clock.
Bottled up. Faniff out deep. Paul gets it back. Cam to Max. 15 on the shot clock. Into the basket and in. Max Feinberg.
Max knows the dagger. He knows how to finish.
Buckley wants to answer. Into Faniff. No call either way.
Let him go.
But there will be a shooting foul coming up. Let's see who that's on. Maybe Faniff.
I give Jared Buckley a lot of credit, Bob. He's shouldered the load offensively. Max's first foul. And even here where he's probably beat and he's exhausted, he's still out there doing his darndest. He's a nice player.
Here comes Gallivan. Casey's going out.
First time we've seen him, maybe? Second time?
Aiden Gallivan. He played in the first half.
Bit in the first
24,
half.
yes. He's been the only one off the bench for the Pirates tonight.
It is a sign of fatigue, too. That little short free throw, that's just a sign of fatigue.
Another whistle.
Well, here's the third official stepping in. That might be all for Javier.
He didn't like it.
If it's on him, that's his fifth. And that disqualifies him.
That should seal the Pirates' fate,
well,
unless someone can come off the bench and spark them.
Coach has a minute to make the substitution. I'd call my team over and use this as a blow and as much of a timeout as he can get.
Joe Fusco, number 12, gets the tall assignment to spark his club. They're down, let's see, 15, with Max shooting a free throw. Going for a three-point play.
Max looking for traditional.
He's got it.
Makes the first.
Excuse me, he's 2 free throws.
Right.
He didn't make the basket.
Yeah, and that's the Max we're used to. Good fingertip control, good rotation, head up. There's a nice defensive play.
Max goes for the steal. That could have been a foul. And they call it a travel on the Pirates.
I think Buck is
tough call.
They give Jared Buckley all the credit. He's on the floor rolling around. He's hurt, but he's not going to come out. They're not going to take him out. Possession arrow? Nope, it was traveling.
Porter underneath, push from behind. He'll go to the line for a one-on-one, as that was the 9th team foul on the Oxford Pirates here in the second half.
Yeah, Mitch doing his job, gets in good position there, heads for the hoop, and rewarded with a pair.
So it should be a one-on-one.
Mitch
makes the first, gets the second, or was it a 2-shot foul? I can't really tell you.
Yeah, I don't know. But Mitch becomes the 5th clocker to score. Excuse me, 6th. Makes them both. Looking good at the free throw line. Gets in the book offensively. He's played hard. He's played good defense. Good job, Mitch Porter.
19-point lead, 5.5 to go. McCarthy traveled, but I guess he got fouled.
If Max had jumped backwards, he couldn't have got out of the way.
I didn't really see McCarthy having great position there.
No, he rolled right into Max. .519 left in this contest, Bobby.
McCarthy misses the first part of the one-on-one as Ashland picked up its 7th team foul of the half. So we'll be shooting on everything from here on in.
Yeah, both teams. Ashland will have the double bonus. Oxford 1-1. And a timeout, Mark Champagne. You know, obviously, you get to this point, Bob, we're up 19. All of a sudden, you've extended your lead. You don't want to get sloppy. You want to set the tone, not just for the rest of this game, but for the next game. you know, if you look in the paper and your team is won by 20 or something like that, maybe the Uxbridge team feels a little bit differently about playing a Tri-Valley League team. The Tri-Valley League teams have a reputation for good basketball, tough teams. They've had some great teams in the past.
Now, if you're the Pirates, what's your strategy here in the last 5-17?
I think the only thing you can do is you can try to slow the clock down by fouling. But they don't have much of a deep team. They've only got 2 or 3 players that are offensive-minded. If I was the Oxford team, I'd probably give the bus driver the signal to start warming up the bus.
My idea would be to shoot the 3 ball unless you got a wide-open layup.
Yeah, that's about all you can do.
You know, you got to bang in about 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah, they haven't been successful going to the hoop, although they don't have much offense.
Morales is out of the game.
Sean McCarthy might be your X factor. Get on the ball as low as you can and let him try to bang his way to the basket.
So you don't think the 3 is the way to go?
No, they'll be shooting the 3.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Although I don't know if they got reliable 3-point shooters. Ashland's doing what they should be doing. Run the clock, get it under 10, and then start looking for your offense.
In it goes, out it goes.
And there's a
Oxford ball.
There's a 50-50 ball. Max said, not off me, but the official disagreed. And the clock is still going to press. And why not?
Yeah,
this is what got him here.
Morales out, Bob.
Yeah.
McCarthy has to take it across the 10-second line. Goes behind the back.
Nice job by the big guy.
Gallivan in trouble. Tried to thread it in, it went out of bounds.
Is that I think that's a zig and zag thing, but it's a little bit of the fatigue factor too. Now Oxford's going to start pressing, try to create some turnovers. Yeah, Ashley just has to take care of the ball.
Max and Mike in the back court. Mike takes it across, dodges a hip.
Buckley probably should have got called for a foul there.
Gallivan fouls Faniff. And this is a 2-shot foul, the 10th foul on Oxford this half. Clock is shooting 2 the rest of the way on all fouls. Cam leans in, pulls it back, and it makes it short.
Cam's played his usual steady game. Good defense, good position. Always hustles.
Always a contributor.
Yep.
Gets the second one to go. The lead is now 20. 4.5 to go.
This Clocker team plays hard, and they play through the end of the game, every game. I like their spirit.
Buckley has to, blocked, but he got fouled along the way. We'll see if it's a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, Mike Boudreau just making sure.
It is a 2-shot foul.
That's Max's third. All of a sudden, they're looking for Max.
Max been aggressive on defense, going for steals. Not letting any drives down the lane. Another point for Jared Buckley. One more free throw to come. Swish.
Makes them both.
Porter. That was a pass that you could have stolen.
Yeah.
It took a long time for that ball to get there.
He was looking to get rid of the ball, and fortunately for him, he got whacked.
Oxford with the turnover. Into McCarthy, a clear path.
That's
and another 2.
The one thing that the Clockers can't do is give up those easy baskets.
Almost another steal. Underneath, Faniff alone, and 1!
There you go.
Check that, John Van Cleef.
John Van Cleef, the finish. Good patience. He turned and squared up and finished that one. Has a chance for the traditional 3-point play here.
Lubega's in. Faniff is out.
Clock is usually reliable at the free throw line, Bob.
19-point lead, full court.
They've only missed 4 free throws
Pressure.
tonight. Oh, that's not what you want to do. Mikey. No, they're running the press, but really at this point the press is just there to slow down the offense. You don't want to stop the clock by fouling anybody. Mike Boudreau his first foul. He had played a clean game up to that point.
Buckley with a chance to add to his impressive totals. Misses the first, so he doesn't get the second. But there'll be 2 shots the rest of the way, both clubs. That's out of bounds. Max dribbles it out of bounds. Another turnover. Clark has with 3 turnovers in the last 4 trips.
Yep. They take care of the ball a little bit better.
A 19-point lead makes it a little easier to take.
Yeah, you're not worried, but you just don't like to get sloppy.
The Pirates continue to play hard. The bomb by Casey, couldn't get it to go. Tremblay had the rebound, but they say it bounced on the line. Very close call.
Yeah, it did. It did. We could see that in slow motion instant replay, Bob.
Ashland ball.
Yeah, Max playing the point. Give it up. There you go. Give it up, Max.
Like Boudreau doubled in the corner. Porter's open, doesn't take it.
Good decision. Take your time.
Shot clock at 15. Now they go base. Van Cleef travels.
Yeah. Good idea. He just didn't have any place to go with it. Francis was wide open, 6 feet from the basket, but he didn't see him.
Mitch Porter, a good game on the floor. Chris Van Cleef comes in for him, number 11. Buckley again, no.
Buckley, coast to coast, trying to do it all.
McCarthy still hustling, couldn't get that to go. Buckley the bomb, no. Max Feinberg with the rebound. Under 3 to play. Clock is leading by 19.
Yeah, good job there, Max. Nice rebound. And he says, "I'll take charge here and stop the bleeding."
Inside. Van Cleef way too strong.
Yeah. Again, anticipating some contact.
Francis. Low big, I got a hand on it.
Nice job anticipating that one.
Casey has had a tough night, gets that one to go.
Yep.
And a steal by Tremblay up and in.
Not what you want.
4 quick points. Ashland's lead cut to 15. Yeah. Timeout Pirates. They're going to defend the inbound.
Right. Nothing irritates a coach more than when you get sloppy in garbage time. And it gives the other team hope. Not that this is in doubt, but you know, why make it more exciting than it needs to be? There's plenty of opportunity to get the ball into an open play. This is a real passive press. It's just a little bit of lack of discipline on the part of the Clockers. And Coach Champagne, you know, again, he's got timeouts and he's going to use this as a teaching moment.
Yeah, you got to refocus at some point. You can't just let it go on, you know?
Yeah. You've seen enough. It's one of the few sports where you can interrupt the play like this and change the momentum almost instantaneously.
Yeah, you can stop the heartbeats.
You know, Oxford already out on the floor. They're going to try to do what they can do. Jared Buckley, he's got an inbounds pass. He's done everything.
Spencer Rabideau into the game.
And that's what you need, a little patience, get it over the timeline, and then...
Oh, what a pass by Feinberg! And a finish by John Van Cleef.
Make the pass that you're not supposed to between 2 players for an easy layup.
Wow.
That's the one that the coach says, no, good play.
That was seeing eye. McCarthy can't get it to go, but he'll shoot.
Yeah, McCarthy, he took 2 or 3 steps in there, and then there was contact. Francis Lebega, his 4th.
What a pass.
Francis gets his money's worth. Yeah, that was a great pass by Max.
Can't get the first one to go. He's got one more coming.
Yeah. Mac, again, he's going to be a tired puppy. He's played hard the whole game, including playing point center at some points. He's brought the ball up.
Makes the second. Leads at 16 for Ashland. Coming up to 2 minutes left in the game. Over the back foul on Gallivan. Aiden Gallivan.
At 2:02 left.
Senior.
Crowd starting to put their coats on. get the remote starts out. It's a 16-point lead. Mike Boudreau at the line. His first points of the fourth period, Bob. He's got 17 on the game. Another nice game offensively by Mike Boudreau.
Yes, I think the clock management eliminates the three-pointer from Mike's game in the fourth period here, you know?
Yeah.
In a different circumstance,
yeah,
he'd be shooting more.
The Uxbridge coaches leaving the gym. They've got their notebooks filled.
Up and in.
And there's Sean McCarthy.
Boy, no one's worked harder than John McCarthy tonight.
He's really worked hard.
I mean, played every second of the game, as has Buckley for the Pirates.
15 points for McCarthy. Most of them in the second half. He has 11 second half points.
And a
turnover. Ashland just struggling to close this one out. They stop the clock. They give the ball away. This is like their fifth turnover in the last couple of minutes.
The bomb. Yes.
Long three.
Tremblay brings the Pirates within 12.
How about that?
And we've got a foul in the back court. And Feinberg's going to shoot 2.
Minute 30 left. And Ashland just making this one more interesting than it should be. That foul's on Dan Casey. Brings Max back to the line.
Well, everything's going wrong now.
Yeah, all of a sudden,
Van Cleef almost got hit in the face with that ball on its way to the referee. Max makes it a 13-point bulge. A minute and a half left to play.
Nice step up by Spencer.
McCarthy again, a nice little turnaround, and it goes.
Tell you, he's had quite a full
Oxford
period.
within 11, and Rabidou will shoot 2.
And that's what they got to do. They got to stop the clock and make their shots. And it's amazing. The clock is must have figured they had this one in the can. All of a sudden they stopped playing smart.
Oxford coach may be wondering why he didn't press earlier. You know.
Yeah.
Always have second guess yourself.
Spencer
cooperating with him his free throw. And gets the second one to go. The lead's at 12. 1:10 to go in this clash. Buck up, and it doesn't go, but he's going to shoot 2.
I think he would have given him that one if it went down.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, needs to double him, make him give up the ball earlier. Just that man-to-man press, he can beat that by himself. Max's 4th foul. All late in the second half. And Buckley gets to go to the line again. Still a minute 8 left.
You know, you really don't want to lose Feinberg's ball handling ability.
No.
Or shooting ability,
No.
or free throw shooting ability.
Sends a message, too. You want him to finish on the floor.
Stays in the game, of course. 2 free throws. The lead is down to 10. Timeout.
That's his 20th point. Jared Buckley, 20 points out of the 46 that Oxford has. 1:08 left, and it's a 10-point game. Yeah, it's a foul-a-thon, but that's what Oxford has to do. They've caused some turnovers. We've missed some free throws, and they've made their shots. All of a sudden, 56-46. You know, you don't still doubt the outcome of the game, but a minute 8 is a long time in basketball, Bob.
Especially with that 3-point play.
Yep. No, Ashland needs to do something positive offensively, whether it's make their free throws or make a basket. And they need to keep Jared Buckley from sailing from one end of the court to the other untouched, and they got to keep Sean McCarthy away from the basket. McCarthy's had what, 10, 12 points in this fourth period. He's had a 12-point period. That's a lot of points for any at any level. So it's been the Sean McCarthy and Jared Buckley show.
Porter, Van Cleef, Feinberg, Phaneuf, and Rabideau for Ashland. Max dribbling by himself, gets it across the 10-second line. A quick foul by Tremblay.
Yeah, clever play by Ashland to get the ball over the timeline. Smart play by Oxford to wait to foul the lesser player in Spencer Rabideau. But Spencer is a good free throw shooter. They just don't know that.
Yeah, they know he's not as good as Max.
Well, they know who Max is.
That's all they need to know at this point.
Yeah, Spencer, relax. Put it on the back rim.
Gets the second one. Ashland's lead is 11 as we go under 1 minute to play in the game.
And we're trading 2 for 1 and stopping the clock. So this
dribbled it off his thigh. Rabideau with the steal. Ahead to Feinberg, right to the rack, and the intentional foul. That's 2 shots and possession.
Disqualifies Gallivan. And he could have been a little more surreptitious about that. But yeah, that's a big play. As Max, no hesitation, he saw an opportunity, went right to the rack, drew the intentional, and that's potentially a 4-point play or more.
What you want to do on that play is pretend you're making a leaping block, you know, and that's your best way. But when you go low, you
grab,
the
body language,
and you swipe.
Here's Max. He's all alone at the free throw line, but you know, you do this in your driveway your whole life growing up.
12-point lead. Max one more. Of course, the big thing about the intentional foul is Ashland gets the ball.
Yeah, Max makes both of those in. They get the ball.
So it's 13 and the ball, and that's big. Michael checks in. Spencer checks out.
Yeah, the and possession is big on this.
John Van Cleef. Looks like Oxford's decide not to foul, Bob.
Yeah.
And we're going to run this one down. We're at 40 seconds. Shot clock at 18. They go for steals. They don't get him. Max takes it in and misses it.
Tantalizing
Oxford ball. 30 seconds left to play. Ashland leading by 13.
Coach McDonald trying to get the seniors in.
The bomb doesn't go. McCarthy corrals it. Brings it out to the arc. Takes it and doesn't get it. And that will do it.
Yeah, the seniors
Clockers have to cross the 10-second line, and that'll be the game.
Seniors may not get a chance to get in the game for Oxford.
That's it.
And that's a wrap. The Clockers take care of business, Bob.
The final score, Ashland 59 and Oxford 46. As the Clockers take an 8-point advantage into the fourth period, blow it wide open, and then struggle to the finish in a 13-point win.
You know, if you wanted to get home early for supper, you weren't going to get it with the way the game ended tonight. Ashland in the fourth period had 25 points. Oxford had 20. And there were a lot of stoppages because of the fouls that were given.
The double bonus, both teams all shooting fouls.
But the Clockers come out of here. They do take care of business. You know, a 13-point victory is pretty good. It wasn't the prettiest at the end, but a W is a W, and they move on in the tournament to face Uxbridge in the second round.
No question they're going to have to play better, although they had a great fourth period tonight, the first half of the fourth period at least, and played a very, very good game defensively. They missed a lot of layups and a lot of chances and really threw the ball away like crazy.
Yeah, they left a lot of offense
on the floor.
Period. Yeah. It wasn't a beautiful game, but if you look at the score, 59-46, you'd say, wow, they had a crisp victory. And 59 points is pretty good. But 25 of those happened in the fourth quarter.
I got to say the defense carried them tonight because the offense was there, but the ball just wasn't going in the way it could have.
Yeah.
Give Oxford credit. They played hard all night, particularly Jared Buckley and
Sean McCarthy.
Number 35, McCarthy. Give the Clockers credit. Javier Morales, 22, the speedy point guard of the Pirates, just never got untracked.
No, and wound up fouling out. That was a big turning point, too. They had to rely on the big guys to act like point guards after that.
I like the way Feinberg balanced his game tonight, for want of another word. And I like the contributions by Francis Lubega and Christian Van Cleef as well. And Mitch Porter, a very good floor game, as they say.
Yeah, did a nice
He's
job.
a non-shooter, but if you leave him open, he will take the shot, and he'll hurt you at the foul line, too.
Nice job managing the offense. So this will probably be our final broadcast, Bob, after the wrap-up. But before we go there, I'd like to say it's been a pleasure working with you again this year. I always learn from the master of the microphone, Bob Thacker, and appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
Bob, we did about 5 of the boys' games this year. They never lost a game that we did, you know. Yeah. And they were all great wins here at Ashland High School. A lot of fourth quarter comebacks and strong finishes, and we saw it again tonight.
We could be the Lucky Charms, who knows?
If the Clockers move on to the finals or some sectional finals or something, we may travel out to Worcester or WPI or something for a game, but we'll wait to see. Right now, the Clockers have to face the number 1 seed Uxbridge on Thursday, February 27th, 2015. A great win for Ashland tonight, and we got a big crowd here.
Yeah, great crowd.
Do you want to run down the scoring?
Yeah, let me do it quickly because
post-game show.
It would be remiss if we didn't name names. Not a lot of players scored for Oxford, but Jared Buckley wound up with 20 and played a heck of a game. He was fatigued even in the first half because of the load he had to carry, but didn't relent and had a nice game. 11 in the first half, 9 in the second half for a total of 20. Javier Morales, 5 points. Nick Tremblay had a 3, so 3 points. And Sean McCarthy, who had a monster second half, had 14 points. Most of those in the fourth period, wound up with 18 for a total of 46 for Oxford. For the Clockers,
only 4 players scored.
Yeah,
for the
that's
Pirates.
amazing, isn't it? No real distribution. And the Clockers didn't have a lot of distribution for a while, but they did get contributions down the stretch, which were important. Max Feinberg wound up with 16 points, and Max, as usual, from the free throw line at the end, very reliable. Did a great job closing out the game. 16 points for Max. Mitch Porter had 2, both from the free throw line. Spencer Robidoux had 2, both from the free throw line. Mike Boudreau had 18, his usual steady offensive game. And as you said in the fourth quarter, Ashland changed their offense to try to preserve the lead. He may have even scored more, but 18 and very important points in that game.
Mike was on target tonight.
Did a nice job.
Those
both
threes.
He played good defense.
3
too.
threes.
Yeah,
and he didn't take many. He made most of the ones he took.
Very high percentage. John Van Cleef with 9, Cam Faniff with 9, and Paul Boudreau with a 3 in the fourth period, a big 3. Wound up with 3 points for a total of 59. So 59-46 Ashland over the Oxford Pirates. Oxford, nothing to hang their heads about. I think from what we saw, they were a game team, not deep, but they played hard the whole game, especially Sean McCarthy and Jared Buckley. The Irish twins did a nice job tonight for Oxford.
So the 2015 season continues for Ashland. It's over for Oxford, onward and upward as the Clockers try to advance in the MIAA tournament. They go to the second round later this week. We want to thank our great crew tonight. Paul Bowden was here to help set things up. Tonight's game directed by Dan Baker. And we also want to thank Todd Carter, Jared Donovan, and Jake Silva for their contributions tonight. And we want to particularly thank Todd Carter and Jake Silva for broadcasting a few games this year.
Yeah, nice job.
And also Ryan Quigley pinch hit one night. And Jim Adams and Corey McCann, a guidance counselor here at the Ashland High School, also did many games, boys and girls, and did a great job. And so it was good to see, to hear some new voices.
Well, you got
on
to spread the
Ashland
wealth
high school broadcast.
It is nice to give everybody a chance, and you get a little different flavor. And I think when you listen to the broadcast that the other guys do, you get a little different slant on the clockers. As far as I'm concerned, there's nobody better than Bob Thacker, but we have some able and capable other broadcasters doing the games.
And these and Silver and Carter are just Ashland High School students.
Yeah.
You know, I think Silver may even be a freshman.
Doing a great
Not
job.
sure
too.
about Todd Carter.
You can tell he's got ambitions, and this is the way to do it. You do games, and the more you do, the better you get.
And we can't forget the great Marathon Deli for sponsoring tonight's game and sponsoring Ashland High School
season,
basketball all season long, Bob.
Great job.
You can't do any better than the Marathon Deli. Great friends of Ashland High School.
Several of the
sports.
crew have gained 20, 30 pounds, I think, this year.
On the generosity of the Marathon Deli. Very, very nice people. So that's going to do it from here. Onward and upward for the Clockers. It would be thrilling if we got to do a championship game later on this season. Otherwise, we will be back for baseball, softball, and all the spring sports around the 1st of April.
There's always a next season, and it's almost spring. Something's got to start melting at some point, Bob.
For Bob Martell, this is Bob Thacker. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
You're watching WACA-TV.